Yo, Archer Blaze, you gotta keep it PG up in here, bro. Talking about you're coming. You're coming? By the way, let me know if the music's still on. That the game isn't up yet. It's not up until another 30 minutes. Yo, how many quartz you got? How many quartz you got, is what I would say after you roll. Oh, yeah? I'm actually... Oh, man, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to roll for her. I've been saying that I'm gonna prioritize Alice more. Which I am. I'm gonna MP5 her. That's the goal. But I'm like... I kind of have a lot of quartz. So, should I just throw a multi or something at Aoko? I don't know. Because I might regret it. Because what if I get Aoko super easily and then Alice is like, alright, I see how it is, and then she just doesn't come? That's like top 10 biggest fears east of the Mississippi. I don't know if I should do that. Because I think I'm gonna have... Because I have a bunch of servants that's like close to Bond 11, Bond 12 and whatnot. And then I have pretty much a year's worth of quartz saved up, including anniversary quartz. And then of course there's the login from later in the maintenance. Maintenance is done. I'm gonna have close to 2,000 quartz if my math is mathing. We'll see though. We'll see. I don't know. Because if I want to NP5 Alice, I gotta be smart. So I'm thinking I'm gonna wait until the 3rd. That's when Alice comes out, if I'm not mistaken. Let's verify this. So the event information's already up on the official Grand Order website. If we go to where Alice is, yeah, I'll accept the cookies, whatever. You could spy on me, I don't care. Ooh, I did not see this earlier. Okay, whatever. So Alice should be, yeah, she's coming out on the 3rd around 9 p.m. PST or PDT. So I might roll for her first, and if I'm lucky enough to NP5 her and still have a lot left over, which is like very ideal and very unrealistic at the same time. Although with 2,000 quartz, I mean, I NP5 there were like 300 in JP, so it's possible. 1,350 quartz, 25 tickets. My Rikyuu is close to bonding out another 30. Okay, there you go. I mean, with that amount of quartz, you should be good for at least one copy. You'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, I got a grand total of 30 quartz for Aoko. Yo, Prim, good luck. I mean, you know, you could get a god roll. You could get 2 Aokos and 1 multi-shot. And it's all Gucci. And I don't think there's any other foreigner you could get in the banner. Or like that's rated up like a non-limited foreigner. So once you see a foreigner card, like you're golden. Hopefully. Knock on wood. And the problem with Alice is she's a caster. So if I see a caster card, there's a decent chance I'm about to get like Helena or Nursery Rhyme or God forbid Waver. Knock on wood again, Jesus Christ. See, that's scary. That's scary rolling for a caster because there's so many casters that could come and spook. But Alice is gonna be the main goal. I'm just mainly streaming right now just for the hype of it. And if I get peer pressured by you guys to roll for Aoko, we'll see. And just wishing you guys good luck. Because I know most people, from what I've seen, and based on my poll and like, you know, just generally who's more popular, most people are gonna be rolling for Aoko for good reason. I mean, she's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, so you know it is what it is. I mean, flat is justice, in my opinion. But if you're gonna be rolling for Aoko, I'll wish you good luck. If you hit that like button on the stream, as per usual, if you hit the like button, you're guaranteed to get her, no matter what. So it's gonna be lit. My son Shizuki can't wait. Oh yeah, he's a great servant too. He's basically a single target Arash, essentially. Single target Berserker Arash, so he's really good when it comes to like 90 plus quests or farming quests where there's like one enemy in a node or something. So, and as a Berserker, you know, he's gonna do dummy damage no matter what. I'm rolling for both, which is a curse upon itself. Yeah, I might roll for both. But I'm really thinking about it because I have Aoko NP3 and JP, for example. She's like Bond 13 or something. So I have used her substantially. But I'm thinking if it would be smarter to just roll for CL later in the year. Because I think CL, I mean, they're both very different servants, different classes and everything. And I kind of like them both at the same level. Like, I don't like CL more than Aoko or Aoko more than CL. They're kind of even for me as far as like character-wise. So what's really edging one over the other is from a gameplay perspective. And I think CL is the better of the two. Like, Aoko's okay, but she's like... Anyone who plays JP will tell you, like, she isn't really the best servant in the universe because of how complex she is and how unique she is. She's one of the funnest servants for sure. She's not a bad servant. Don't take my words out of context. She's not a bad servant. She's just not really that good in traditional farming and stuff of that nature. Otherwise, like, if you just want to use her just because she's sick nasty with the sauce, like, it's all good. Yeah, he was grailing Sonoji, he was grailing Alice and Aoko. I'm definitely gonna grail Alice for sure. She's gonna be my future grandcaster, so you can't grand a servant unless they're bare minimum grailed to 100 anyway, so that's just a guarantee. Does the Castoria banner end already? I actually have no clue. I have no idea, big dog. I could check for you. I mean, I'll check the page. Let's see, which one? Which campaign is Castoria under? Because there's a lot of campaigns going on right now. Maybe this one? No, not past collaborations. That makes no sense. Yeah, I have... No, not 3200. God damn, bro. I wish they would add, like, pictures at least to these things. Pilgrimage Festival? Is she there now? That doesn't make sense. I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, wait a second. Lady Avalon, new master support. Yeah, I can't tell you, bro. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to find it through all this shit. When I struggle to decide what servant to get, I usually go by which NP I don't mind seeing 100 times. That's true. I mean, Alice, at one point, she was like my fastest Bond 15 servant. So I don't mind seeing her NP a million times. What's unique about Aoko is that she's gonna have 2 different NPs. Because she has her first NP that transforms her to Super Aoko. And then of course she has her actual, you know, damaging NP. So you're gonna see two different NPs coming from her if you decide to use her substantially. Like, she could be used for farming, it's just like the first wave has to be cleared by someone else. Like Arash or Habitat or maybe Sono G if, you know, it fits the quest. Yeah, does anyone know when the Castoria banner is over? Because I literally, for the life of me, cannot find the actual campaign for it. Yeah, there's no chat. Wait, pick up summon. Okay, wait a second. No, she's not even there. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Sorry, Don. I can't help you. I'm too stupid. And my ADHD is like going crazy with all the text. And as far as like seeing an NP a million times over, an NP I'm still not tired of seeing, even though I gotta use it pretty much twice every battle, is Summer Tiamat and JP. Because in order to make it so she performs better than Castoria and Scotty in terms of farming, you have to use her NP twice. Because you're gonna bring double Summer Tiamat and you gotta use both their NPs at the beginning. So that's like probably my most viewed NP at this point, because she's already Bond 15, and for every quest you bring her, you have to use her NP twice. It's not like Castoria and other support servants where you probably are not going to use the NP as much for farming purposes, or at all if you're, you know, just trying to min turn and trying to win as fast as possible. I saw a video with double Aoko and Ash the Savior. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like crazy hybrid teams you could make with Aoko, so she's very versatile. But because she's not specialized in one thing in particular, like when you compare her to like a dedicated farming servant, like I saw people asking in the earlier Kalia broadcasting station video that, you know, revealed the event and whatnot. You know, people were asking like, oh, is she better than Kukulkan, for example? And like, they're completely different servants. The only similarity between the two in terms of gameplay is that they're both foreigners. Otherwise, completely different kits, completely different playstyles. Like, Kukulkan's a lot more straightforward in terms of farming, but Aoko's Like, you could do a lot with her, but she's not necessarily the best in any given situation. My stuff from 10th Annie finally came like a week ago. Oh, really? How did I get mine first before you? Because I had mine shipped, obviously, from like a service in Japan, and then came over, including the big Aoko acrylic sand. Yo, that shit, if I remember, that shit sold out fast, right? And that shit's massive because of all the effects and like her big ass hat and everything. I wish they would make that a costume, but they never make. They rarely. I don't think they've ever actually made a Craft Essence a costume playable in the mobile game. I know they did so in arcade, RIP Arcade, by the way. I think it's like discontinuing today or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the collab is like literally in 16 minutes, so good luck, Max, if you're gonna be rolling. Yeah, I got this too. Well, let me show you guys actually. I'm not gonna unbox them right now because I still gotta find like a dedicated space for them. So I got these acrylic, I guess, cards of like, you know, we got Caster Gill here, his summer form, and then we got normal Caster Gill. We got Kid Gill, of course. Like, of course, I got all the gills. I mean, that's just a given fact. Okay, we got Kirei as well, Rasputin. You know, bathing in the grail juice. You know. Of course, we got Enkidu. Strange Fake Peak, by the way. Strange Fake Peak. The normal Gill. We got both Hakunos. So we got the male and female Hakunos. Yeah. And then I got both the Tiamats as well. This is Tiamat from arcade, this one, which I actually prefer her final art in arcade a lot more than the one in mobile game. The mobile game is fine. The mobile game is like, I like the final art, but I like the arcade one better. The arcade one's just like peak for me. So those are the only ones that came in. I think there's like a second order coming in at some point. I also got this, which I bought this out of impulse, but when I think about it, it was kind of a dumb purchase. So I got this support acrylic thing, right, which is cool, and you could insert, like, if you buy the pack or whatever, you could insert particular servants, like your servant of choice, if you pull them. And my dumbass only got pretty much. Let me show you guys. I can't put it in right now because I gotta unscrew it. I only got the Tiamat insert, so I could literally only put her in it. I can only put her in it, which is like, oh, I probably should have bought the Gil one, and Enkidu one, and a bunch of other servants just to play around with. But my dumbass was not thinking that far ahead. Now the Gilgamesh one's like $20. The Tiamat one only goes for like $1. But Gil and like a lot of the other popular characters go for like $1 million. I find it so funny how Fate doesn't have a card game. It tried to have a card game, FGO Duel, back in 2018, 2019. And, you know, it wasn't... It was probably never going to get as popular as like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or anything. But they did try to have a card game, but then COVID happened. I think that really stopped, you know, their production and Aniplex's faith in it, because nobody was playing physical card games once the quarantine happened. So a lot of games in general just took a big hit. So there hasn't been an update on FGO Duel. I doubt they're gonna pick it back up because it's already been like 6, almost 7 years. So yeah. On JP Enjoyer, it's also maintenance. Yeah, both games on maintenance, FBI. But the cards look better than Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, I don't know about that. Yu-Gi-Oh, some Yu-Gi-Oh cards go crazy. It did never do, and yeah, COVID would do. Yeah, there was. I think I have FGO cards in here. Oh yeah, I do. See. So the FGO card or FGO Duel was basically just. Let me show you. I actually don't remember how to play it. I know I played with Archer Blades back in Anime Expo. But these are how the cards look. So it's basically just like the Ascension cards from the actual Grand Order mobile game, and then you also get like a little figure. I don't have the figure on me right now. It's in display right now. But it was a pretty fun game from what I remember, but you know, it definitely did not take off at all. I don't know how much they go for nowadays. And to be honest, I don't know if there's... I mean, I'm sure somebody made a video, maybe like Hideshan made a video on how to play it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, because I don't remember how to play it, and the instructions were in Japanese. So there's like no shot, like my dumbass could figure it out. I have 450 quartz and I want Aoko Alice Summer Rush and CL this year. That's crazy. If you're trying to NP2 plus any of them, then you're probably gonna have to commit right now to one of them. Otherwise, with 450 quartz and the power of God and anime by your side, you might be able to get away with one copy of each. But if you're trying to like NP5 CL, for example, or whatever. Now, granted, with Aresh and later CL, you're gonna have the benefit of having anniversary quartz, which I think we're getting a metric fuck ton this year. Next year is when we get 1,000, by the way, so everyone's gonna get their copy of Volga one way or another. But this year we're gonna get Annie quartz, so you should be good on Aresh. I don't know about CL, it really depends, bro. Is anyone trying to like NP5 Aoko, by the way? Because I'm trying to NP5 Alice in a couple days. On the 3rd, this coming Friday. I already had the stream scheduled, I'm pretty sure. And I'm trying to NP5 her because she's my Grandcaster of choice in JP, and I'm gonna Grandcaster her again in NA. And I know some people are like, why don't you Grand both guilds? The thing is, my OCD would go crazy if I Grand Archer Guild, Grand Caster Guild, and then Kid Guild can't be Granded too because he's also an Archer. So I'd rather just like Grand the main guild and then like Grand somebody else for Caster. That's my shit. I still have my guild card. Yeah, the holographic one. I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna say that goes for like $1,000 or anything crazy like that, but it should be fairly expensive compared to like the normal cards. Aiming for one copy. Only gonna try for NP2 both because this year's stacked. Yeah, this year is from here on going forward. It's just stacked. Ever since Ordeal call with the Count of Monte Cristo, which if you guys rolled for him, congrats if you got him. That is. If you didn't, then I'm sorry. But from Ordeal Call 2 forward, it's pretty much gonna be banger after banger for the most part. And then we end the year off with Lohi, if I'm not not Lohi, Phantasmoon, which is also a hard hitter. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be going for her. Like, there's a lot of great servants coming out this year. Lohi, Phantasmoon, CL, of course, Space Aresh. It's stacked. It's freaking stacked this year. I'm gonna stick with one copy. This year is way too good. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, good luck to everyone rolling for sure. I'll be skipping since I'm not huge Type Moon fan. Bro, you gotta get into it, man. You gotta at least try. Especially with the Mahoyo movies coming out. Or at least one of the movies coming out this year, and then we gotta wait 15,000 years for the second, and then another 15,000 years for the next. Maybe that will get more people into the wider Nasuverse. Because Fate is obviously the most popular one. And I know that hurts a lot of Tsukihime fans and, you know, Mahoyo fans a lot, because for a lot of diehard Type Moon fans, like, there's a lot greater stories out there outside of Fate, and I do agree though. I do agree with that, because Mahoyo is really good, but it has nothing to do with Fate really. Tsukihime is really good, and I can't wait for that to get a proper anime as well in like 20,000 years. So hopefully this will be the, you know, the start of the wider Nasuverse getting acknowledged. Because I think within like the niche anime community, like the VN community, like, you know, everyone knows Mahoyo, everyone knows Tsukihime, but most of the anime community in general don't know what Mahoyo Tsukihime is. Everyone's heard of Fate because Fate blew up like over a decade ago with Fate Unlimited Blade Works, Zero, Heaven's Feel, but nobody knows what the fuck a Mahotsukai no Yoru is. I even saw, and there were a lot of people triggered about this, there was like a post from like one of these anime news pages or whatever, where it had the screenshot of the Aoko promo for the movie, and like the caption was like, is this gonna be the new Demon Slayer? It's like, brother, it came, like, the story is a lot older than Demon Slayer, and people are only making that comparison because it's UFO Table, but Type Moon was there first, way back in the day, with UFO Table, with Garden of Sinners, bro. There's no way. I don't think people have seen that, like a lot of like the general anime community have seen that, to be honest, as well. Which kind of sucks, but who knows? Maybe Motsukai no Yori will be that catalyst. Finished reading Mahoyo for the first time last week during spring break. Hope it's enough of a catalyst to get at least NP3 with 600 quartz and 24 tickets. Well, Kaiba Corp, by the way, I love your name. I was able to NP5 Alice and NP3 Aoko, or I think NP2 only, but I NP3'd her later in a guaranteed SR. Besides the point, I was able to get both of them at a pretty decent NP level, or pretty high NP level, to be honest, with like less than 600 a couple years ago in JP. So if luck is on your side, and as long as you hit that like button on the stream, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Good luck, bro. I plan to roll after I upload a video on my last rolls. Alright, Subzart. Good luck to you too. I mean, I'm thinking about maybe at least one multi-shot for Aoko for this stream. But otherwise, I'm gonna go all in on Alice on Friday, this coming Friday. And if I have leftovers, I will go roll for Aoko. Because I do like Aoko too. I just like Alice a lot more, clearly. Those who do know the more underground IP and Fate only know them from power scaling. Just an observation I saw whenever Tsukihime or Mahoyo were talked about. Yeah, that's true. Like when it comes to power scaling in the like Nasuverse, like it's crazy. People like to do their little verses, like who could beat who type shit. Which I stand by the idea that anybody could beat anybody in the Nasuverse. It just depends on the situation. Like, I mean, you literally have a high schooler in Emiya defeating the King of Heroes. Like, on paper, that shouldn't happen, but given the situation and the context of the story, like, it goes back to that, like, that cliche of, like, oh, it depends on what the author wants, you know? Thank you, Ikimonogatari, but save your good lucks for when I roll for Alice in 3 days, because Alice isn't coming out tonight. It's just Aoko. Aoko hard soloing. She's gonna be all solo. I've been saving for NP5 Kama Summer, which reruns in May. I have NP3. I have almost 900 quartz. Okay, I mean, 2 more copies. You should be good. Yeah, 900 quartz. But I'm also NP4 Kiara Summer in July. Do you think this is enough? So you're essentially trying to get 2 more copies of Summer Kama. And I assume 1 more copy of Summer Kiara, if I'm reading your shit correctly. Yeah. 3 more days until Alice. Actually, it's more like 4 more days, but yeah. She's coming out April 3rd. Let me just pull up the page again just so I can show you. Yay. Alice Kawanji. And there you go. So 4/3, 9 p.m. pretty much, 2100. You know, there you go. Yes. Okay. I think 900 quartz should be enough for at least NP5 Kama. Getting another copy of Kiara, you might be pushing it, but mathematically speaking, you should be fine. Although I wouldn't get my hopes up. I would just focus on one of them at least, and just pray, you know, Kiara. Because Kiara comes after, you're able to get them. I wish you good luck nonetheless, either way. Also a huge fan of Koyama's art style. Pretty much started FGO because of... Yeah, no, her art style... Or I don't know if it's a her. Koyama's art style is amazing. Did the art for not only Skasaha, but obviously Aoko, Alice, Wodime as well. Musashi. Probably one of the bigger ones. Matahari. For the bronze servant representation. Yeah, good luck, Joshua Watt. That's a funny name, by the way. Funny name. Hello and good luck to everyone. Yeah, good luck to everybody as well. If you're gonna be rolling, let me know your results, and please, before you roll, hit that like button. I'm telling you, if you're new here, if you hit that like button before rolling, you're gonna get a 5-star. Deadass. Like a 5-star servant, not like a 5-star like craft essence. Like no, you're gonna get the 5-star you want, and this extends to other gacha games. So if you're watching my stream right now and you're playing like Genshin Impact, Honkai, or some shit, bro, hit that like button, bro. You'll be lit nasty with the sauce. You read all of Ordeal Call 1 and Ordeal Call 2? Oh, nice, man. You just binge read it. When does maintenance end? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Sorry for all you Jalter. Hey, you like Jalter too, though, right? Probably not as much as other people, but yeah, no, Jalter Rip the homie. Yeah, so I did see that there is a leak with Gil coming to Honkai. It's Gil and Rin, right? That's the leak. So I told you guys a year and a half, 2 years ago when the first collab was first announced. I said I wasn't gonna play Honkai Star Rail unless Gil is like guaranteed as a playable character. And after the first event, or the first like collab event that they had with UBW, I was like, all right, whatever. Like, you know, I wasn't expecting him to be there anyway. It's a UBW collab, so like I was safe. But then this new leak is coming out. They're gonna have another collab, and apparently Gil and Rin might be there. Obviously, I don't really care about Rin being there. I mean, it's cool for my Rin fans. You know, Archblade, you might want to hop into Star Rail as well. But now that Gil is like leaked, and apparently the leaks for like a lot of Mihoyo games are like pretty reliable, I'm just like, oh fuck, I gotta pick it up because I gotta roll for Gil. Now I'm not gonna guarantee I'm gonna become like a Honkai Star Rail like fucking railer. I don't know what you call the fans. I'm not gonna become a railer, guys. Like that's not. I'm not gonna become a daily railer. I'm not gonna weekly stream Honkai Star Rail. I'm just gonna get my Gil and dip. This is gonna be one of those situations. Okay, the game is done updating, so good luck to everyone rolling for Aoko, assuming maintenance is not extended. I would 100% watch your stream, Star Rail, not gonna lie. I will, listen, I will guarantee, if Gil comes out, I will guarantee a stream where I roll for him, but I don't know if I would invest any further than Gil, just because I don't want to add another gacha game on my plate. I already played 2 JP accounts and 1 NA account for Grand Order, and it's already kind of crazy. And I'm not that type of person, because I know most gacha game players are like this, that are very casual. Like, oh yeah, I could juggle 10 gacha games, like whatever. Like, no, if I'm gonna get into something, I'm gonna go in deep. I'm gonna read the story. I'm gonna understand most of the mechanics. I'm gonna get into it hardcore. Kind of like what I do with Grand Order. Granted, I'm not the best player in the universe. So again, if you guys are rolling for Aoko, there she is. She's up. Yeah, if you aren't spending a lot of money, that's a lot. That's what I'm saying. So like, I'm good. Okay, so man, a part of me wants to roll so bad. So again, good luck to everyone who's actually rolling. And I apologize if you guys are expecting me to roll, but give me at least 4 days. When Alice drops, I will roll for at least Alice. I might roll for both, because I'm trying to NP5 Alice. That's the main goal. And I love Aoko, just not as much as Alice. And I will be rolling for Alice mainly. I want to see how Gil looks in the Mahoyo game. Would like to see you stream. Yeah, I will stream it, dog. I will stream it. It's gonna be like a stream where I keep farming. I don't know how farming works in Honkai, to be honest. And then I'll keep farming until I get him. I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah, good luck to everybody. Let me know, guys, if you guys are gonna get her, or if you guys got her. Yeah, good luck. Farming in Honkai is terrible. All right, well, that does not give me much confidence. Can't lie to you. Really? How's the rates, by the way? How's the rates of Honkai Star Rail? Like, compared to Grand Order, is it better? Is it worse? Is it same old? Like, no matter what, a gacha game's a gacha game. It's not gonna be, like, super generous. But in comparison to what I'm used to, I've been playing Grand Order for 11 years already. Pretty much. This is what I'm used to. So I'm used to the bullshit that this game could do to me. I just gotta be equipped to understand what I'm getting into if I do become a railer, as you guys are called, I'm sure. Is that what you guys are called, a railer? I don't know. It's sort of generous. Okay, if Grand Order is like a 5 out of 10 gacha, if we're just looking at gacha rates, how would you rate Honkai Star Rail's gacha? Like from 1 to 10. 10 being like super generous, and 1 being like dog water. If we say, because Grand Order is my baseline, so I'm gonna make it a 5 out of 10. A 7 out of 10? Okay. So a little bit better, but not like dummy with the sauce. Better rates, better pity system, but way less gacha income. When you say gacha income, you mean like they give you less resources to roll, but the gacha rates are better? I don't know if that's good then. I don't know if that's good. Because at least with Grand Order, you get like login quartz and, you know, stuff like that. Why did you throw... Okay, I don't want Shuten to be there. Honkai Star Rail's like a 8. Yeah, pretty much. So does that ultimately make it worse as a gacha? Because yeah, the rates are better. But assuming I don't whale, which I don't plan on whaling, does that make it worse? Like the rates might be better, but then if they don't give you enough resources to roll, that kind of just evens out. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of scary. Not gonna lie, FGO as a 5 is too high. If you're well, it's my baseline. That's why. It's all I know. Granted, I played like Magia Record, for example. Like that was years ago, and I remember that one having like a really, at least for me, I was really lucky in that game. But my baseline is Grand Order, and to me, baseline is like a 5 out of 10. Pro tip: never whaling. I don't plan on it, dog. Like I barely spend money on Grand Order. Like you think I'm gonna whale at a game that's like not Fate related, outside of a collab and outside of a couple references here and there? No shot. If you start right now, you'll get enough resources to get guild once very fast. Why is that? Can you explain? Can you explain to me why? Plus, we don't know when this event's coming out. What if it doesn't come out for another year? If I start now, like I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not gonna become a railer. I'm not gonna be deep into it and probably just like log in every day, like most people probably do anyway. Okay, I guess I'm bringing Ibuki for bond reasons, because I'm close to bond 11? Oh, bond 12. I'm close to bond 12 with you. That's just difficult Hoyo games. They barely give enough to pity once per patch, but only if you win 50-50. Wait, it's one of those pities where it's like a 50-50 chance. It's like you hit pity, you're guaranteed a high rarity, but it's not necessary. Like it's a 50-50 chance of that rare, like that high rarity being the rated up. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like... See, you guys said it's like a 7, 8 out of 10, and the more you guys are talking about it, the more I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. If I hit pity, I want to get the rated up thing. So there's two pities. There's a 50-50 one, and then there's... Well, I guess that's better than Grand Order in the sense we don't have a halfway point. I've always said that there should be at least something once you hit the halfway point to pity in Grand Order. Yeah, because in Grand Order, you get quartz from Bond, obviously from login, from obviously campaigns, from quests, from advanced quests, master missions. Like, there's a lot of ways to get quartz in addition to, of course, whaling. Like, how many ways are there to get, like, I don't know what the gems are called in the railing of stars, but... If you're starting, it's enough pulls for a guild, so don't worry about the first one. Okay, let's say the collab is a month from now. Let's just say for argument's sake, because I don't know. You guys probably know more than me. Do you guys know when the collab is? And let's just say it's a month from now. If I start now, if I just log in, like I don't commit too hard into it. If I just log in and like, I don't know, do a couple dailies or whatever the fuck, will I have enough by next month? That's what I need to know, like in the immediate future. Because if it's coming out next year, then like, brother, like I'm just not gonna be invested. There's no way. New players will obviously get way more pulls. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. Let's just start this quest already. Stop yapping. Stop yapping about the railing of stars. Oh, I gotta bring Mashu the Zashu. Yo, Mashu, you're kind of cramping my style, dog. All right, Mashu the Zashu. I guess you could come. Remember, Honkai Star Rail Annie is next patch. Well, you say remember like I knew that. I don't know when the anniversary are, but thank you for letting me know, Chacha. It's next patch. Okay, what does see? Okay, there's again. I'm stupid. Okay, talk to me like I'm 5. Because I don't even know what that means. Okay, a patch. Obviously, that means an update. I don't know how often you guys get patches or updates. So that doesn't mean any. Is that like a month from now? A week from now? What the fuck does that mean? So glad we can immediately max out Aoko. Oh shit, I wish, bro. So glad. There's only one way, which is grinding to my knowledge, but it's spread throughout missions. There's only one way to get... Wait, okay, so this was crazy to me. I'm not gonna tell you guys the context of why I was asking my girlfriend this, because my girlfriend... Well, she used to play Genshin a lot. She recently started playing again. And I was asking her about, like, how to get the gems there. You know, how to roll. Just out of curiosity. And apparently there's not really any, unless there's like a big event, like a anniversary or whatever. There's not really any login bonuses. It's just dailies. Is that correct? Because that sounds, to me, that sounds like hell. Now that's not Honkai we're talking about. We're talking about Genshin. Is that true? Because fuck that. If I'm logging in, bro, like, you better give me something. Yes? Oh my, that sucks. That's dog. I remember when Genshin came out, and maybe I'm smoking crack cocaine. I remember when Genshin came out, people were like, yeah, it's a way better gacha game than Grand Order. But that alone already turns me off. I don't care if the gameplay is like the best game in the universe, 10 out of 10. If I'm not getting anything for logging into your damn gacha game daily, then that's dog water. Now, I understand that there's daily commissions, right? That you could do to get these gems anyway. So it's essentially like a login bonus. You just gotta do a little bit of work. But I'm just like, man, fuck that, bro. That's some dog. Genshin's way worse than Honkai? Okay. Because they are by the same people, so like that worries me. I'm just like, fuck, yeah. Do you get login bonuses in Star Rail? There aren't many dailies in Star Rail either. See, that's how they get you. They're like, oh yeah, the rates are great. But we're not gonna give you shit anyway, unless you whale. See, that's how they get you, man. People were capping all these years then. Because people were saying, oh yeah, Genshin, oh yeah, Star Rail. Their rates are way better than Grand Order. But that's not the full picture. You're not... Okay, whatever. Not you guys specifically, but I remember for years and years now, people were saying, yeah, the rates are better. But that's not the full picture. Like, there's no login bonus, unless there's like a big-ass like campaign or something. There's barely any like dailies that you could do to get the gems anyway. I'm just like, fuck that. And don't get it twisted. I'm not a whale. I'm not about to like go to Honkai Star Rail for Gil and drop like $1,000. That's like, no. Unless somebody donates right now and gives me $1,000 and no fucking shot. Okay, Aoko's here. Okay. I'm gonna bring Ibuki anyway for the bond. Gonna keep it nice and simple. They give you a lot. You got like 100 pulls minimum per patch, and you have to grind a lot less than an FGO. Okay, you said patch again. So how often do you get a patch? I guess that's a dumb question for you guys who actually play Star Rail, but I have no idea. Is that a monthly thing? Does it depend? Because a patch, from what it sounds like, it's like when there's like a big story or something update. So I assume that's like every other month. And then 100 rolls, is that enough for pity? Is that what you're saying? Pity carries over too. Pity carries, yeah. That is cool. I do like that pity carries over. So if you're like free to play and you're just unlucky, then pity carries over to the that's cool. I think that's all right. I just don't know how I feel about the no loss. That to me that's a deal breaker right there. I don't know, man. Ah, fucking Mashu. Why you gotta be a Zashu, bro? Bro, I hate life. I was getting straight cheeks, peanut butter, and reset. My FGO get Aoko automatically. Oh, you got Aoko. Okay, congrats. I guess I don't know how hard your cheeks were clapped, but I hope the clapping and the sore asshole later in the morning is worth Aoko. I guess congratulations, Mora, if I'm reading that correctly. If there's one thing I like about Star Rail is that everything can be auto and skipped, including the grind. Okay, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Most gacha games outside of Grand Order, of course, have like auto battle systems, so I'm pretty indifferent either way. I mean, it's a turn-based game. Like, I'm not really like, who gives a fuck? I could literally play this game. Sometimes I play Grand Order while showering. Sometimes I play Grand Order while playing Monster Hunter or Pokemon or whatever. Like, it's not really that big of a waste of time because I'm always doing something else. while playing Grand Order anyway, so I really don't care about like auto system. It's crazy how the Grail War is so popular in Star Rail World that last patch is confirmed they made the entire Grail War into a movie. Wait, really? Okay, that I don't know. I don't know shit about that universe, so can't tell you. Alright, Aoko, you go do your thing. I'm just gonna spam her skills for funsies. I had around 350. I'm now at 124, so they were clapped fairly hard. All right, I mean, you used a little bit over half. Yeah, you were definitely bent over sideways for sure. Asshole spread open, gaping wide open, dog. Definitely for sure. Oh yes, I'm playing FGO in a different way while showering. Oh nah, dude. I play 5 to 6 gacha games basically on seasonal rotation. Yeah, no. See, I'm never gonna do that. I'm not, like, if it wasn't for Grand Order being a Fate game, which a lot of people make that argument, like, oh, it wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't for the fact that it's a Fate game. Well, yeah, no shit. But if it wasn't for Grand Order being a part of the Fate series, I would not have played or started this at all, because I already don't like gachas anyway. I'd rather just play an actual game that I don't have to pay a fucking premium to get the characters I want consistently. But yeah, that's why I'm like really hesitant to, well, there's a lot of reasons to be honest, but that's one of the big reasons. I just don't have the time, money, or patience for another gacha game. But we'll see. Maybe, hey, maybe the collab does its job, because the point of collabs is to get new fans into the IP. Who knows? Maybe I play Honkai Star Rail, I use Gil, I start railing some stars with my boy, and I'm like, you know what? This game ain't half bad. Maybe. But that's like, if I were to put a percentage on it, it's probably like a 0.0001 chance of happening. Because I just plan on getting Gil and then dipping after the collab is over. That's like my immediate plan. I just want to get him for the sake of saying, like, yes, I got my boy in Star Rail, and that's it. FGO better than other gacha games because I feel like if you roll for a good character in FGO, you have a good unit forever pretty much. But in other gacha games, yeah. The other thing that, oh man, that like low key really turned me off about like Genshin's gacha is that they have the character gacha, right? And then they have the equips, I don't know what the fuck they're called, like basically the craft essence, as a separate banner. But you could still get the equips in the character banner. So from the outside looking in, I'm like, what the fuck is the point? At least in Grand Order, you get servants and craft essences in one banner and that's it. Like, why is there still a separate banner for the equips? Like, why not just roll for the characters at that point? Why is there separate banners? Like, I don't know. And I hope if Star Rail is like that's even a bigger turnoff for me. Because I know there's like certain equips that you need to have for certain characters to make them like viable. Which, I like, fuck that. Like what Escape said. Once you get a good character, like, you're pretty much set for life. Unless they get power crept. But even then, like, they're still a good character. Because I remember when Koyan came out, for example, they were like, oh yeah, no. She's way better for farming than Merlin. Merlin's like outdated, and I'm like, no, Merlin's still good for like longer battles and stuff like that. But like, obviously for farming, Koyan's better under most circumstances, but like that doesn't make Merlin automatically bad. If it ain't a Fate character, they are basically in rotation in terms of power. Wait, what are we oh, and the story's actually comparable to Fate? Alright, oh, is it? Well, I know they take a lot of inspiration from Fate, so you know, I ain't gonna knock it, because it's not like I fucking have the, or I play the game. Wait, who can I bring? Okay, I'll just bring whoever the fuck I want. Bleach Soul Resonance is probably the best gacha that comes out recently. Better pity, system 80, pulls for rate up, no 50-50. I'm a fan of the 50-50, to be honest, as long as there's like an actual pity later. And you get enough pulls every patch to pity. If you're pulling a remembrance or elation character, I what the fuck? In Honkai Star Rail, the weapon matters way more. See, that's I don't like that. And with, again, I mostly know more about Genshin than Star Rail, but they're like the same company, so like maybe a lot of things carry over. But another thing I just did not like is certain skills are locked in characters unless you get them at a higher level, like for the equivalent of like an NP level in Grand Order. Granted, Grand Order is somewhat similar with like the pen skill system. Like if you don't pull another copy of that character, then you can't unlock their pen, like, because the only way to get coins, or one of the only reliable ways to get coins, is through the gacha. So it's similar to that, but it doesn't make them unplayable. Like you could still play with NP1s, and if you bond enough, you will get the coins to append anyway. But I don't like that. I don't like that skills are locked behind, like, oh, I did get like 5 copies of this character. Maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know how many copies, but you know what I mean. I gotta get X amount of copies of this character in order to make them viable. Like, to me, that's kind of dog. But hey, if that floats your boat, big dog, then hey, I ain't gonna shit on what you like, bro. But like, for me, that's a huge fuck that. I would rather get star railed myself than deal with that. Yeah, for your games, weapon gacha are very important, especially for DPS. Yeah, no, I'm good. Cause you could literally, like, maybe this is a really big exaggeration. I could wake up tomorrow with all my 5-star craft essences gone, and I'd still be able to play the game at a pretty high level. You could even get away with taking away my 4-star CEs. Like, there are some 3-star CEs that are really good. That you could still use for daily farming and stuff of that nature. So I'm just like, fuck, dude. That's scary. Like, other gacha games scare the shit out of me. And that's because I'm in my little, like, FGO bubble. I understand. I'm looking at it from that lens. But it's, like, again, this is my baseline. This is what I'm used to. So when I see other gacha games and things I don't like, I'm just like, it stands out like a sore thumb. But it's true in reverse as well. I'm sure there are people who play Star Rail, go over to Grand Order just to check it out, and they're like, ew. Like, this game looks like this, or this game could use this. Like, I understand it works both ways. It's not like Grand Order's perfect by any means anyway. It's definitely not. But, like, fuck. You know, there's like so many things from, like, I get turned off by when I look at other stuff. Oh, Archerblade, you got Chiron? Oh, good luck, boy. Good luck, my boy. Damn, you've been rolling this entire time. Did you get at least 1 copy at least? Now, see, Ikimonogatari, I will... This is a promise, because I said this years ago, and I'm a man of my word. If Gil does indeed come to Star Rail, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for him. That's a guarantee. But it's probably gonna be one of those, like, one and done deals. I will stream it once just to get him. Maybe play it off camera just to see if I want to keep it. I mean, I'll definitely keep the account. It's not gonna be like I'm gonna throw it away or give it away or anything, but we'll see. Can anyone steal the code for FGO Arcade before it gets lost media'd? You know what's crazy? I was just browsing, right? I was browsing at Facebook Marketplace, and there's somebody selling an FGO arcade machine, like, in my area. I'm like, how the fuck did you get that from overseas? And why do you have it? And they were selling it for like $500 or something, and I'm just like, okay. I'm not gonna get it. Because I don't know if the game would be functional at that point. I guess the collector in me would be like, oh, I kind of just wanted just to have it, but like, it's kind of a waste of space at that point if I can't even like turn it on or anything. Not gonna lie, NP2 is overhyped since I'm based 5-star CE farmer. Use Black Grail and everything. Yeah, that's true. With Grand Order, once you have like your core, I guess 10 craft essences, that might be even too much. Maybe 5 craft essences. Black Grail, Kaleidoscope, of course, and then your 3 50% starting NP CEs that support each of the cards, so like Quick, Buster, and Arts, and then maybe like 2 or 3 other Cs, you're pretty much good to go for the rest of the game. At that point, the other CEs are just there just to look pretty. And you gotta hand it to Grand Order too. They go hard with the CE art. Like the Genshin equips are literally just like random ass swords and like clubs and freaking like malices and shit, and I'm just like, okay, that doesn't really look that crazy, to be honest with you, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna say this, MC, looking at how good your FGO count with multiple NP5 and loss of quartz, when you play games like Honkai Star Rail, definitely gonna feel the difference having to use your pulls carefully. Oh, is that right? All you need is Black Grill in any event, 50%, and you're good. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I'm sure, like, if I play, like, Star Rail and maybe played for a week, maybe that should be a thing I do in my channel. I play... Because after a week, I would assume I would have a good handling of the game. Some might argue maybe a month or something. But I feel like after a week of playing the game daily, using my AP or whatever the equivalent of AP is for other gacha games, I will have a pretty good idea on how the game works and, like, a pretty good idea how the gacha works specifically. Maybe I should do that as like a thing on my channel. I just... FGO player plays Star Rail for the first time. And gives my biased thoughts on it. And then tell you guys what I like and what I disliked about it compared to what I'm used to. Because again, FGO is my baseline, so inevitably I am going to compare it. Whether I want to or not, whether I intend to or not, I will be comparing it. Every gacha game to Grand Order, because this is what I'm used to. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that'd be fun. And then at the end, like maybe after a year of doing that, I could have like a tier list of which gacha game I feel like is the best overall. I don't know though. I feel like I would piss off a lot of people. People would be like, oh, this FGO player doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Still no Avenger Pachacha, so FGO isn't perfect. That's true. No female gills, so like, I'm with you there, buddy. I'm with you there. What are recommended CEs for Aoko? So you want to get to her NP like pretty much turn 1. Like deadass, so I kind of want to say Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope might be her best craft essence, deadass. 4 more to go, maybe 5. Wait, you got 1 copy? Oh, you got her. Only 60 quartz? You got her in 60 quartz? Oh, congrats. Dick swinging. Archer Blade's dick is swinging. Hopefully swinging into her, but you know. We'll see if she comes 5 more times. Or 6 more times, I don't know. Well, I guess 5. 5 would be like 4 NP6. Yeah, I would say Kaleidoscope, just to get to her NP right away, is pretty ideal for her. But if you're using her for farming, let me think about this. If you're using her for farming, you're gonna have to accompany her with like Habitat or a Rash or something, and then you could probably slap Black Grill on her. You'll probably get away with that, but again, she's not really used for traditional farming. She's very different. Let's say that. Very unique. Alright, let's just do a couple of these quests. Bro, I got Aoko in a mix of 5 tickets and 15 stain quartz. Oh, congrats, Escape! Congratulations. Sick nasty. Help the Aoko I pulled is lactating. Whoa. Whoa, dude, she's lactating? Wait, that means she's pregnant. So who's the father, though? That's the real question. And if she... Wait. This is a weird question. I don't know how nerdy you guys are with Type Moon. I mean, I don't say that in like a derogatory way. I'm pretty nerdy when it comes to Type Moon. But genuine question, and this is probably one of those questions only Nasu could answer. Because my understanding, my very, very bare bones basic understanding in very simple terms, is that when Aoko becomes Super Aoko, she ages up pretty much 10 years into the future, right? Like, Super Aoko is who she is 10 years from when she is right now in the present. Let's say she's pregnant and she uses that NP, or it's not even NP, she uses her true magic to age up 10 years. What happens to the baby inside of her? Does something, like, I don't know. Does something happen? Does the baby disappear into a pocket dimension and is safe? Or does that baby also age up 10 years and then implodes or explodes from inside of her? Like that's I don't know. I don't know. Or can she even get pregnant? I have no idea. I guess some people will find out. They will experiment. Like, oh, can she get pregnant? I'll let you know in about 9 months. Saw someone say that on Twitter. She gets a 10-year-old familiar, easy money. She just gets a random ass 10-year-old little boy or girl. We should impreg Aoko to find out who's with me. Hey, I mean, I'm not a big fan of like a Bukkake fest or anything like that. I don't know who wants to like a show of hands. Whoever's first to show their hands, bro. Like you're gonna be first in line to attempt impregnation. With her consent, of course. Like this isn't on some weird shit. Like with her consent. Because I'm sure she's curious too. Granted, she'd probably want Sojiro to do the deed. Don't worry, I'll sacrifice myself for the greater good, of course. I think most people probably would, to be honest. Most people probably would. She always will be 28, her prime. So that means I'm in my prime right now, because I'm also 28. I'm Unk status. Like I'm very curious on that. Like it's a weird question. But it makes me think like, huh, what happens to that baby inside of her? It's a very weird question. I think it's fine because True Magic is just goated like that. Yeah, but yeah, probably. That'd be fucked up if like the baby just ages up 10 years and just explodes inside of her. Just insta kills her. Wasn't planning to try for Alice, but since I got Aoko and literally 4 tickets, I'll give it a shot. Oh wow, Paradox, congrats! See, I told you guys, if you guys watch my streams, and I assume you hit that like button, Paradox. If you didn't, then you're a cheater. But if you watch my stream and like it, bro, you're guaranteed a 5-star. Easy. Is Unk chopped? I'm also 28. Damn. Like, what age do I look like? If you guys, like, if I didn't say my age, what do I actually look like? I assume early 20s. Because Asians don't, 59? There's no way I look 59. Low-key 24. Okay, there you go. 24. I was like thinking like mid to early 20s, you know? Mid to early 20s. I remember somebody asked me if I was like 16. I was like, no shot. No shot I'm 16. I mean, I might act like a 16-year-old, but like no shot I am. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna be farming this quest. I don't know, depending on how old Albert is now. Yo, Albert looks... I mean, no offense to Albert. Albert, if you're watching, no offense, dog. You kind of look like you're at least 45. Based on the stream earlier, with like his facial hair and whatnot, he looks like he's about like 45. But I don't think he is. I think he's like 30-something. I'd love to help with this experiment with Aoko, but Raiko would end me. Oh, damn. Unk is pushing... Yeah, no, I'm pushing 30, dog. I really feel 30. Like, okay, I'm glad you guys were saying I look like, you know, 23 or what. I saw 6'7" in there. Ikimono guitar, you could lick my booty butt cheeks, but I really feel like I'm 30. Back be hurting. Every time I wake up, I'm like groaning. Like, you know your Unk status when your first noises that you make in the morning isn't even words. It's just, it's just a groan. That's when you know your Unk status. So if you guys are pushing 30 as well, or you are 30, and you're waking up like, ugh, you know it's over. You know it's over. You might as well just start packing, bro. Start planning out your retirement plans, because welcome to senile elderlyhood. I'm cooked. Yeah, no, it's over. It's over, dog. Lower back issues, yeah, it's over. The thing is, I'm almost 30, but mentally, I still feel like a young idiot. No, I'm the same way. I mean, you guys could clearly tell. I say the dumbest shit all the time, and I'm pushing 30. So I feel like I'll always be like this for the rest of my life, which I'm okay with. I feel like once I'm like an elderly man, I'm still gonna be playing games. I'm still gonna be fucking around. Not like that though. You know. Like that's my biggest fear. I just become like a boring ass adult, bro. Like, nah, dude. Leon was 27 in Resident Evil 4, so that was his prime. Yo, how old is he in Requiem, by the way? Because he kind of has some wrinkle action, but he still looks good though. I ain't trying to like hate. How old was he in the recent game? Because he definitely aged up quite a bit, but hey, he aged like fine wine though. And I saw all the thirst posts about him too. I'm just like, Jesus. 51? He's 51? Yo, if I look like Leon S. Kennedy at 51, dog, no shot. I don't even look like him now, but if I at least look like 5% of what he looks like at 51, brother. Leon is like 49. Okay, that's not that far off from 51 still. It seems like he can't do backflips. Wait, he's not aura farming doing backflips and like front flips and shit in Requiem? Damn, 49. I mean, good on him, bro. You would think with all the stress and all the shit he has to deal with in the Resident Evil world and all the traumatic events that's happened throughout his life for the past almost 2 decades, he would have no hair left. He would have a lot more wrinkles and maybe like hypertension issues or something, but like he's doing all right, I guess. He's doing all right. Do you think Ada Wong would like me? If you look like Leon, maybe. Ada Wong could get it though. Do you think Merlin would work to support Aoko? Oh yeah, of course. Any Buster crit support synergizes well with Aoko for sure. Or like art support as well. Because she's kind of a weird, again, she's very weird hybrid character. To be fair, Leon isn't dealing with rising gas price. That's true. Yo, gas right now, brother? Nah, dude. Nah. I mean, prices of everything, to be fair, is going up. At least here in the United States of America. Like, what do they mean? Pokemon cards are considered vintage now? Yo, so I was explaining to my mom the other day. Because obviously my mom doesn't keep up with, like, the current trends and, you know, stuff like that. But I was explaining to her, because back when I was a kid, I would get, like, Pokemon cards, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, stuff like that. You know, the tins, the booster boxes, you know, all that shit. And I was explaining to her, like, hey, you know how expensive a Charizard card is? And she was like, no. And I was like, it's like $3 million for like a PSA 10. She doesn't know what a PSA 10 is, so I didn't say a PSA 10, but like I told her it was like a couple $1 million. And she was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah. And like she regrets not just like getting me a fuck ton of Pokemon cards back in the day, back when they were cheaper. I mean, I feel like everybody probably feels that way. Looking back at our childhoods, like, holy fuck. Like, I had that Charizard card, or I should have collected Pokemon cards back in the day, but I don't think anybody could have predicted how fucking expensive these cards are. Specifically if they're like PSA 10 or in good condition. Because I remember back in the day, man, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh, I would put like the Winged Dragon of Ra, for example, in my pocket. And then it would go through the washer, and then it would come out just all fucked up. I distinctly remember fucking up the original yellow Winged Dragon of Ra. Just fucking it up. But it is what it is. I still got mine, thankfully, but many are fucked up. Like, you got the Charizard card or just like Pokemon cards in general? I have all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but my Pokemon cards are... they're cooked. I don't know where the hell they are at this point. And Yu-Gi-Oh cards are... They're not ever gonna... At least I don't think so. They're never gonna be as expensive as Pokemon cards for sure. But with the introduction of like the... I forget what they're called. They're like full art cards. I'm not sure the proper term. But with the introduction of those and like serialized cards, they're getting pretty expensive too, which is scary. That's scary. Because like Yu-Gi-Oh is like the only one I try to keep up with and like update my decks, but if it gets absurdly expensive on some Pokemon level shit, nah, dude. I don't know if I could do that, man. I mean, now that I got a job, I guess I could afford it more, like a proper job. But like, fuck, I'm good, man. I'm good. I like Yu-Gi-Oh since it's nice buying booster packs at MSRP. Oh yeah, no. Oh, Sojiro, let's go. Yeah, this guy. Yo, I know most people are excited I mean, I am too, for the Mahoyo movies for Aoko and Alice. Mostly Aoko. But I want to see, like, Sojiro's, like, big scene. You guys know what I'm talking about at the end of the story. I want to see how they animate that. I can't wait. In the year 2045 when they animate that movie. Yeah, this event gives a welfare. You didn't know that? Damn. That's kind of fucked up. He's a really good servant, by the way. Like, he doesn't look like much, but trust me when I say he's a very, very good servant. Basically, a single target Arash. And he uses a collar to ascend himself. That's funny. No, he's not a support. He's straight damage. Single target Arash Berserker. So if you need somebody to just quickly do dummy damage on a single enemy and like dip out, he's your guy. Uses the NP, just disintegrates. Becomes Thanos. But speaking of Thanos, bro, like, isn't it crazy that Endgame was like for my Avengers and MCU fans, like Endgame and Infinity War was like 8 years ago. That era, which was like for me peak cinematic experience. It's like kind of downhill from there, to be honest. Brother, that was almost a decade ago, which is blows my mind. Just blows my fucking mind. Like that's when you know you're old as fuck. When things feel like they were more recent, but it was actually been like 10 years ago. Do we know if the event supports Mahoyo? It probably does, to a minimal extent. Probably not like fully. I mean, to be fair, there's like not much to spoil. It's a very simple and basic story. Like, there's really not much like to spoil from Mohotsukai no Yoru. The Avengers will return in Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, they definitely will. Gil will also return in Avengers Doomsday. I know everyone's hyped for the new Spider-Man movie coming out. I'm kind of hyped too, but I have not watched a Marvel movie in maybe 3 years. I want to say. Or like, I haven't watched anything Marvel in a while. Just because, like, yeah, it kind of fell off. I mean, most people probably agree it fell off heavy. And even when it was, like, when it was still considered decent, it was just a lot to keep up with. Like, there was a lot of, like, Disney shows that you had to keep up with. In addition to the movies, it was just too much. It was too much. I was in middle school when Endgame came out. That is crazy. So you wait, if you were in middle school when Endgame came out, then you already graduated high school, or you're in the process of graduating high school, or you're probably already in college. That's insane. That is fucking crazy. No Way Home was the last Marvel movie I watched. I think the last one I watched was the Thor movie, the latest Thor movie, which was awful. For me, it was like not a good movie at all. Yeah, I got greedy with the shows combined with the movies. I think they could have got away with like shows, but it's just the amount of shows they were pumping out. Like, it was too much. Way too much. I'm 22 now, graduate college almost a year ago. That is crazy. Holy mother. I think Guardians 3 was my oh yeah, Guardians 3. So I know it was considered pretty good. I haven't watched it yet. Just because like I was at that point I was already turned off by the MCU, that like I just didn't want to invest into it anymore. So I never got around to watching Guardians 3, but I heard it was pretty good. So there's a couple of like hidden gems over the past couple years with the new phase and the new era of MCU, but like I can't do it. Yeah, Unk MC, bro. Are you also going for Alice? I'm mainly going for Alice. So I didn't roll for Aoko at all. So for everyone who did roll for Aoko, congratulations. For those of you guys who are still rolling, keep it up, I guess. Good luck. But on Friday, this coming Friday, when Alice drops, I will be rolling for Alice, NP5, and if I have ports left over, I'm gonna go for Aoko. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna commit. Thunderbolts was also nice. I heard some pretty mixed stuff about it, but for the most part, it seems to be mostly positive stuff. Yeah, the MCU has been very mid. Yeah, no, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same, man. See, again, Unk status. That's when you know back in my day the MCU used to be this and that. It's just too much to keep up with. And then the stuff that you have to keep up with aren't even good. Or like that good. So like I just have no incentive to pick it back up. Plus at this point, if I wanted to pick it back up, because like I said earlier, if I get into something, I'm gonna go really deep into it. Like I said earlier, if I'm gonna go into like Star Rail, for example, I gotta go into the deep end and really get into it. So if I were to dive back into the MCU, I would have to like catch up to everything that I missed up until this point, because that's just how I am. I'm very OCD, very committed like that. And I just don't want to, because a lot of the stuff just look like garbage, but you know, if I want to commit, I got to commit, I guess. Oh yeah, the extra remake. Yeah, no, that or extra record. Yeah, no. If my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong for those guys who know more information, because of the multiple delays, Bandai was just like, yeah, no, we're just gonna nix this. Because they did delay extra record a lot, and I guess Bandai was not happy about that, about the developers doing that. So I think the game is still, if I'm not mistaken, I think the game is still being developed, but they have to find another company to help produce it. Because Bandai was the original one, but they were like, yeah, fuck you. You keep delaying this. Which, I mean, it's Type Moon, and then they delayed Strange Fake. They've delayed Mahotsukai no Yoru's, like the apparently it's supposed to be a trilogy, the VN. They delayed it for like 20 years now. Where's Red Garden? Fate Requiem still hasn't been updated. It's only just yesterday when it was officially announced when Strange Fake's light novel is gonna end. I mean, this is just Type Moon at this point, but I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying, you know, Type Moon, that's just what it's known for. To the fans at least, but you know, from a business standpoint, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to keep delaying your games and whatnot. So extra record got nixed, unfortunately. Also doesn't help that they keep polluting movies with agendas or characters that can't survive on their own to begin. Yeah, yeah, no, it's true. A lot of people are not a fan of like the woke stuff, which, you know, I'm pretty indifferent about for the most part, but if that becomes a main focus over the overarching story or like the overarching plot or whatnot, you know, that's when it becomes a problem. Like if they have an agenda, okay, whatever, you have an agenda, but don't make it like the main focus. At this point, give to Disney so we would have 2 billion Nasu shows, and oh, I'd give it to Disney? Oh hell no, dude. Like if Type Moon and Disney were to, oh, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. That sounds scary. Props to for Naruto for actually completing a work after everyone else stopped. Look at you. Yeah, no. Oh man, there's so many Fate spin-offs out there that like take forever to update, or I just have not updated in forever. Fate Requiem being like the biggest offender, or one of the biggest offenders of that. Same with Star Wars, no interest in that Mondo or Grogu movie. Yeah, no. I mean, I never got into Star Wars like that, but I think Hollywood in general just going through that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still waiting for extra remake and hoping that someday Arxis would make a fighting game about Fate. Yeah, no, I hope so too. Fate Grand Order fighting game in particular would be so good. But they can't include all the characters. That's the only thing. There's gonna be characters that, like Tiamat for example. I love Tiamat, but if they make a Fate Grand Order fighting game, no shot she's gonna be included. They're probably only gonna do like the main characters and like the big characters from each singularity. Granted, Tiamat was a beast, or the first beast we ever slayed out, so I guess there's a chance she would be at least fightable in a Fate Grand Order fighting game, but otherwise it's probably just the generic servants, Mashu, obviously Arturia, Emiya, you know, the normal Fate Stay Night crew, of course Gil has to be there. If they don't put Gil in a proper modern day Fate fighting game, then they're just smoking crack at that point. I played Ushiwaka on Multi Blood. She was a ton of fun, but as a Jalter fan, I'm disappointed for many reasons. Yeah, no, Jalter would definitely have to be in a Fate fighting game. I think definitely the big popular waifus, Jalter, Morgan, of course. Maybe Melusine? Melusine is pretty damn popular. I can see Melusine being in a Fate Grand Order fighting game. Props from Naruto for trying to salvage that king scene of Zero. See, I told on Twitter I was talking about like how people hated that scene. I'm personally okay with it, but I know a lot of people hate it. And some people were surprised, like, wait, people hate that scene? And I'm like, yeah, no, people don't like it at all. I actually like the Banquet of the King scene, but, and I said this on Twitter, from my understanding, people don't like the Banquet of King scene and Fate Zero as a whole because it ruins, quote unquote, ruins or butchers Saber's character, because Saber is supposed to be like standing on business and like would not take that shit from Iskandar and Gil when they were laughing at her and criticizing her. Like she would not be fazed by them pretty much. But in Zero, she was like pretty shocked by what they had to say and how the way they treated her ideals. But apparently, like if she was actually in character, she'd be like, okay, I don't care what you guys think. And for a lot of people, like, and that's how she is throughout Fate Zero, right? She's very vulnerable. But that's not how she is in Fate Stay Night and like the original story and like her original character. So a lot of people hate Zero for that reason alone. And I'm just like, as somebody who started with Zero, I didn't have that bias. So I didn't know that there was like that kind of hatred and that kind of vitriol against Zero because of that. It's to the point that people call the writer Urobuchi, I think. The author of Fate Zero, they call him Oro Butcher, and I'm just like, damn, that's savage. That's so savage. I would politely disagree with that. I mean, I like the Banquet of King scene because there's just something about seeing three servants just like talk as opposed to fighting. Like we love the fight scenes, obviously. Like that's like the main thing that we watch these shows for. But it's interesting just seeing three servants just like clash ideals just with words, just sitting there and talking. But a lot of people hate that scene because of the butchering of Saber's character. And it's crazy that like Richard is like the biggest Saber fan ever, and he sees, and spoilers for episode 13 by the way for Fate Strange Fake, but Richard sees all that go down, basically binge watches Fate Zero all the way through, and is basically like, okay, yeah, that happened to my king. My king acted that way. But I still admire King Arthur. I'll still fight on her or his behalf and stuff like that. Like, he's a true fan through and through. Unlike you fake Arturia fans that are like, no, that's not my Arturia. You know, he accepts his Arturia for who she is or who he is or whatever. Flaws and everything. And I gotta respect it personally just because I kind of relate to that. Because when Gil got destroyed in episode 10, I think it was episode 10, right? When he got, again, spoilers for Fate Strange Fake. When Gil fell down, a lot of Gil fans were like, oh man, that's not what he did in the light novel. He stood on business. He was alright. In the anime, they butchered his scene. They made him fall down like a wimp, like a pathetic, humiliated little bitch. And I'm just like, no, bro, that's he's my king, but he's still human, man. It's okay for him to be vulnerable. So in a way, I kind of related to Richard. I was just like, okay, I could see why you guys don't like the way, you know, King Arthur was portrayed or the way Gilgamesh was portrayed, but I'm personally okay with it. In fact, I kind of liked it. So, you know, Richard gets some respect points from me because I could relate to him on that level. That's my dude right there. Richard's my dude now, because we relate on that shit. Yeah, Zero is goated. Zero is definitely goated. Again, Uro Butcher. I was already not a fan of him with some of the common writer he wrote. See, people either really like him or really hate him apparently, which I did not realize until I saw that a lot of people did not like the portrayal of Saber. How do you feel about the huge amount of skipped scenes in Fate Strange Fake? Okay, so... Okay, I gotta get into this now? Fuck. I was gonna make a separate video. I still probably will. But... From the beginning, Strange Fake was already... We were already told that it was only gonna have 13 episodes. Like, since like months and months ago. So that already told me, and that should have already told everybody else that there was gonna be cut content no matter what. And even if it was 24 episodes, it's still an anime. There is no anime that's based on a light novel or based on anything. It could be a manga, it could be a light novel, it could be a visual novel. There's no anime on God's green earth that is a one-to-one perfect adaptation with no cut scenes or cut content. I'm sure there are anime that are very close and are very respectable and very accurate to the manga or source material. But I'm telling you right now, there's no such things as a perfect one-to-one adaptation. There's absolutely no shot. So when people were complaining like, oh man, they cut this scene, they cut that. In general, that should be an expectation. I'm sorry. That should be an expectation. There's going to be cut content. But it depends on the cut content. That's the caveat. That's the one factor we have to think about. Because if they cut content to the point that it changes the story, then yeah, I would have a problem with it. But for me, for the most part, and I've read the light novel, albeit it was years ago, I was okay with most of the cut content. Most of it. I think the stuff about Tsubaki, for example, I kind of wish they included. That way, people would be more invested in her character arc, especially in the last episode. But I think for the most part, with only 13 episodes, you gotta keep that in mind, with only 13 episodes to work with, I think they did a pretty good job. That, and if you want the full story still exists. You could read the light novel. Just read the light novel if you want the full story. So that's my personal stance, like in very simple terms. Like I don't care about the cut content because it doesn't, for me, it doesn't really impact the story to a big degree, to the point like it takes me out of the experience or it ruins the story for me. Plus again, if the story is ruined for you, the story still exists in the light novel. Like it doesn't make sense. I never understood that perspective, like, oh, the story is ruined. It's like, no, it's not. It still exists. Like the light novel didn't just get Thanos and like you can't read it anymore. It still exists. You can still read the light novel. Like who cares? Same thing with like manga or like visual novels, especially with visual novels, as we know with Fate. Because as good and as revered as Fate Heaven's Feel is, like especially from like a profit standpoint for UFO Table, and as successful as UBW is, with even to the point of still collabing with like Honkai Star Rail a decade later and a bunch of other stuff a decade later. That's how successful UBW was as an anime. It has a lot of cut content too. Heaven's Feel has a lot of cut content. UBW does too. Zero definitely does, as we know. But they're still super successful and they're still able to tell their story and introduce the Fate universe to a new audience. So I think it does its job. Strange Fake included. They did a pretty good job with 13 episodes, specifically with Strange Fake, to give us the story while still cutting some content here and there because of time. It's just how it is. There's literally no anime on this planet that's perfect. Like, I'm literally gonna watch the Mahoyo movie later this year, expecting that there's gonna be cut content. Expecting. If you're watching an anime and you had the opposite expectation, like, oh, they have to include every single little detail, then you're already doing something wrong, in my opinion. Because like there's no anime that's perfect. There's no way. You know which one has the least cuts? The GOAT Babylonia. See, so I was thinking about Babylonia. Babylonia is a great adaptation of Grand Order. Oh, of the Babylonia and Singularity. But when you think about it, they did cut a lot of stuff out. Benkei's scene was shortened. He uses NP in the game, I'm pretty sure. But in the anime, he literally just comes in, gets stabbed, and then he's gone. They totally cut out Taiga's or Jaguar Man's entire thing in the end, where she takes on the form of her third ascension and is like a much more serious character. They totally cut that out. So even Babylonia, as good as it was as an adaptation, it still cut some stuff out. But did those cut content impact the overall story? No. And I could say the same thing about Strange Fake. Did the cut content impact the overall story? Not really. Again, with the exception of like Tsubaki's scene, with like understanding her backstory early on in the series and making us more invested in her character. With the exception of that, all the cut content, in my opinion, hey, they only got 13 episodes. It is what it is. So, it do be like that. I just remembered you said that you will jump in Honkai Star Rail if Gil will be there. Oh yeah, we talked about this earlier. I will play Star Rail for Gil for sure, but only for Gil, like nobody else. I don't care about anybody else there, to be honest. I think people forgot they can read in general. I know that sounds a little mean, but reading comprehension has been declining heavily across the world for a while. Oh yeah, no, that's been a thing for probably maybe the past 30 years, if not even longer. That's been like a big concern. Just like, especially here in the West, I'm gonna be honest, like the reading comprehension here in the US, dog water. Especially now that there's like AI assistants, like ChatGPT, for example, like the most infamous one. Like people are gonna be more and more reliant on tech to give them information verbally rather than like, you know, just reading. So it just is what it is. Is Alice Koonji worth it, guys? If you love her, then yes. If not, then she's okay. I mean, she's not like the best quick looper ever. She's like above average for sure, but she's not gonna make or break your game. How about One Punch Man who actually changed stuff to where the anime is different from both the See, so that's where the line gets crossed, right? Like I'm okay with cut content as long the overall story remains intact for the most part. But when things not only get cut but they get changed substantially, that's when it's like, all right, no, we can't be doing that. Which thankfully Strange Fate didn't really do. Like I know they changed the scene with Gil, because when Gil gets his Gate to Babylon closed, he still continues on to fight with the weapons that are already out there from earlier in the fight. He still continues to fight, and when he gets shot by a true berserker, instead of flopping down and falling, he remains standing up. And a lot of people prefer that aura farming from him, which I would have liked to see. That's badass as fuck. But I think for the purposes of the story, I think it's better visually that we see him fall down, because it feels like a much more devastating scene, especially when it's followed up by Tine screaming in agony. And you see the way they animate Tine makes it, you know, you could feel the devastation and shock from her. And I feel like that devastation and the shock would be overshadowed by Gil aura farming. So I think that's why they changed it. And I personally am okay with that change. I'm okay with it. And I know most people don't. But as the biggest Gil glazer ever, as somebody who wakes up with the taste of Gil's dick in my mouth every day, I'm okay with him flopping down on the floor and looking pathetic and being humiliated. I'm okay with it. If you can't accept your king at his worst, then you don't deserve him at his best. That's in my opinion. As a big Gil glazer for the past decade, I accept him at his best and I accept him at his worst. And if you can't do the same, then hey, I'm not gonna say you're a fake fan, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. The only episode I kind of hate is episode 10, which speedrun volume 8 for some reason. Again, they only had 13 episodes. I don't know what to tell you. If they had 24, like I said in my latest reaction video, if they had more episodes to work with, great. That would have been awesome. That would have been preferable. I would have loved that. But the reality is they were only given 13 episodes. And that's the key word, they were given. It's not like a budget thing or whatever. Because here in the West and like in a lot of other countries, television and cable television in general is kind of dying out. Specifically, especially here in the US. Most people use streaming services like HBO, Netflix, stuff of that nature. If I'm not mistaken, TV and cable is still very much a popular thing in Japan. People still use cable every day. Even younger people. It's not like a streaming service culture over there. So when Strange Fate gets only 13 episodes of TV time, again, it's advertised as a TV anime. It's not advertised as like a Netflix original or whatever, where they have a lot more control and a lot more leniency when it comes to how many episodes they could release. No, they were allotted 13 episodes every week, or one episode every week, and then once that TV time is cut, that's it. Like, that's all they get. So of course that's the limits, and that's the factors that have to be taken into account. Like I don't understand the. I understand not liking it, but blaming like the studio and whatnot about cutting stuff, like that's what they had to work with. Like there's nothing else that they could do at that point. They got 13 episodes. That's what they was allotted to them by whatever TV company it is. So we gotta accept that. That should be the first thing we look at for TV anime. Like, okay, they were given 13 episodes. All right, they're definitely gonna cut some stuff out. And even then, again, most anime are gonna cut stuff anyway. Have you played the extra games? Extra CCC with my girlfriend, although she was the main one playing, to be honest. So I was just watching. What's worse about Gil? His carelessness? I love that about him. I love his arrogance. Do you think Gil would come gold? That's probably an infection if it came out yellow. And he should probably get that checked out. To be honest with you. So I would hope not, for the sake of his health. But we'll see. Kamen Rider and Ultraman are still getting yearly new series broadcasting weekly. TV is still going strong in Japan. That's what I'm saying. So if a company, if A1 Pictures was only given 13 episodes, and they've already delayed Strange Fake enough, they won't get delayed further to find a better slot for 24 episodes, for example, then that's what they got to work with. And I feel like a lot of people just don't take that into account, and they're just like, oh, it cut content, therefore A1 bad, therefore studio bad, therefore anime bad. It's like, all right, let's chill out. Like, that's not the full picture, but okay. 700 Saint Quartz, no Aoko. Wow, really? Did you use everything already? I'm sorry if that's the case. If you use everything already. You're like Richard for Gil. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, Richard saw all the flaws, all the imperfections of his king when he binge watched Fate Zero, and in the end of it, he still admired his king. I'm the same way with Gil. I'm okay with watching Gil Aura farm and stuff like that, but I'm equally as okay and equally as accepting when I see him fall down, even if that's not what originally happened in the light novel. I don't care, because it still fit the story. It was much more impactful for the story, in my opinion, to see him fall. It's much more shocking, and it plays into what the devastation the scene was supposed to be, how devastating it was supposed to be anyway. What's up, Serge? Back? How are you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm doing A-okay. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay, I could probably crit to death anyway. Got pity for Aoko. Summer's dead. Oh man. You know what? I hate to say it, but it's because you didn't hit that like button. If you hit that like button, you would have been fine. Gil, good king, bad person. Arteria, good person, bad king. At least in the well, if you really read into it, like, you know, King Arthur has done some heinous shit too, but at least mostly in the Nasuverse, yeah, that's mostly true. Although Gil was, at least Castigal was a decent enough person. A1 Pictures give me a Stay Night flashback and My Life Is Yours. They technically had one. Kind of. When it showed Aoko, or not Aoko, Ayaka in the church, but I guess it wasn't like a Stay Night scene, like showing Ku or Medea or anything. No, I haven't seen that, Chacha. Yeah, it's a mission event. I hate mission events, man. I just don't like how redundant it is. Now, granted, most events are redundant in nature, where you gotta farm the same thing over and over again. But mission events are just so particular, where like, you gotta fight this enemy 10 times. And then the only quest they're in only has like one of them, and it's like, so I gotta fight this quest 10 times in order to complete this damn mission. That's what I hate about mission events so much. Who's your favorite artist at FGO? Oh my gosh, that is a loaded question. I love so many different artists. Like Redrop, for example, goated art. Fuck. Oh man, Water Arco is good too. I mean, Takeuchi, you know, his art's baseline, I would say. Like, I wouldn't say I love it, but, you know, there's certain things about his art style that I love over others, for sure. I think overall probably redrop. Redrop just kills it. Redrop is so good with the craft essences and of course with Kama. Just goated with the sauce. I think Raita is great too, because I mean Raita did design Shuten for me. And Shuten's like my favorite. Yamanaka Kotetsu is the original designer of Goetia, and of course the designer of Tiamat and Sherlock. So like I got a special I literally have all of Yamanaka Kotetsu's Tiamat art books in display behind me as we speak. So I would say Yamanaka maybe second place, but yeah, I think redrop overall, just because redrop all the craft essences that redrop has made, 10 out of 10, and then obviously Kama 10 out of 10 design as well. So like just perfection across the board. But yeah, there's a lot of great Choco, so good with or Choco for Melusine, brother. Yeah, Hanjo Raita, like Hanjo's definitely top 5 for sure. Maybe top 3. Okay, if I were to give, like, in no particular order, because it really depends on my mood. In no particular order, I'd say Redrop, Yamanaka Kotetsu, and Hanjo Raita. I think those 3 are like my top 3 goated Grand Order artists. I'm trying my best not to like include Wada Arco or Takeuchi or whatnot, because they're just Fate artists in general. They've been around the block. Koyama as well has been around for a while too, like outside of Grand Order. It's just that thinks Arturia and Strange Fake style felt off. No, she looked okay. She looked fine. She looked alright, I'd say. I mean, obviously it wasn't going to look the same as like Fate Zero, UFO table style, but I think they did a good job designing Arturia. I will say Iskandar pretty much looks exactly the same, besides maybe like lighting and shadows and whatnot. They did a really good job like recreating Iskandar. Like brother, like if you watch my reaction to episode 13, I was saying throughout the entire episode I was having goosebumps because of that scene. And again, I know a lot of people don't like the Banquet of Kings scene, but like I remember rewatching the fuck out of that back in the day. So to see it like remade in a different art style, like over 10 years later, was like so cool. Yeah, Strange Fake style looks great. It has a certain charm to it that, and this might be recency bias talking, or just like my bias with Strange Fake in general talking, but I think stylistically, not animation wise, not effects wise, not fight scene wise, just stylistically wise, I think Strange Fake might be my favorite, like in terms of all the Fate anime. I think Strange Fake stylistically is the best we've seen of any Fate anime, and you could just fight me about it. Again, I'm not talking about animation, I'm not talking about fight scenes, I'm not talking about story for sure. I'm just talking about like just stylistically how the characters look, how unique they look. I think it's the best one for me. Just curious, is Tine already out of the Grail War? I'm not gonna spoil it. I mean, use context clues. Whether or not you've read the light novel and you know the spoilers, just use the context clues. At the end of episode 10, we are given the impression that Gil is dead. And in the next episode, we see him lying down, being healed by Tine, or Tine is attempting to heal him. And then Enkidu shows up and does some weird mumbo jumbo shit. Like, it's not really a big spoiler, but he's not out of the races yet. I'm not gonna say exactly what happens, you know. I'm not gonna say what exactly happens, but we could probably make the assumption that he's still gonna stick around for a little bit. So there you go. Maybe we look weird because we got Hippolyta who look like her. Well, I mean that's kind of the point. Like if you know Hippolyta's master, it makes sense why she looks like a saber face, specifically with the hair. If her hairstyle was different, she probably wouldn't look that much like Saber. If we get episode 13 animation consistently, the animation would 100% be better than the UFO table. See, I wouldn't go that, because I think no matter what, UFO table will always have a leg up over all the other fates, just because their special effects, their storyboarding is just on another level. Like, they go crazy with it. But stylistically, I think I prefer Strange Fate overall. I think Cloverworks did a great job with Grand Order, for example. But I think definitely stylistically, I prefer Strange Fate over, or A1 Pictures over Cloverworks. Nothing wrong with Cloverworks, but I think Strange Fate has them beat. I can't say Shonen be a popular shonen show so that I could have 500 different merch of her by now. Hey, brother. Just change your profile pic to say at this point, bro. I feel like you nerd out, you geek out, and you simp for say a lot more than you do Cha-Cha at this point. I know every now and then you like to ask about adult Cha-Cha, but I feel like you talk about say a lot more. It'd be like me saying I'm the biggest Guild fan, but then I mainly talk about Shuten, which I do talk about Shuten. I love Shuten, but you know, Gil's my boy. He's my main. Which studio would be best on adapting the Lostbelts? Oh man. So I'm someone with severe OCD. So I feel like, in my opinion, because they already did Babylonia, I think Cloverworks would fit the Lostbelts better than anything else. Because I think UFO Table is way too cinematic to fit the Grand Order like stories anyway. Like I know we want to see like UFO Table animate all the fight scenes. I understand, I get it, but I think stylistically, I think Cloverworks nailed Grand Order's tone. And I think that's more important than getting flashy scenes. To be fair, the one I see on your camera is Shuten. I mean, you're not wrong, but my entire wall here is pretty much all Gale stuff, so you're not wrong, but like if you look closer, I mean this tapestry is like maybe 20-25 bucks or something. That entire wall there is like a couple thousand probably, to be honest with you. It's pretty expensive. Low-key, Cloverworks would do on the Lostbelts would do well in Lostbelts. I think so, yeah. Same, I love how Cloverworks animated the slow pace of Babylonia. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they captured Babylonia as good as they could with the amount of episodes that was given to them. And I kind of like, again, very weird take maybe, especially when I just said I'm very OCD when it comes to consistency. But I kind of like how different fates are animated by different studios. I think it makes sense for the main Fuyuki Grail Wars to be animated by UFO Table. I think again, their cinematic approach really fits the visual novel tone, right? But I think every other fate being adapted by different animators and different studios, I think just adds another flavor to like the Fate series, you know, that there's something for everybody pretty much. And even though Apocrypha and Strange Fate were both done by A1 Pictures, stylistically they could not be any more different. They look so different, and I think that's really cool. But with that said, I think anything to do with Grand Order, I think Cloverworks should be the ones to do future anime on any Grand Order related chapter, like the Lostbelts. And you gotta imagine, if UFO Table were to do the Lostbelts, like obviously it would look amazing, but you gotta think how long it would take to get each Lostbelt. So we would probably be like 80 years old. All of us would be like in our 80s by the time we get to Lostbelt 7. That, or they would cut a lot of content, which I already know a lot of people would be pissed about because, you know, people don't know how to set their expectations appropriately. Dog, imagine Flat is like Aoko where he has a transformation MP. Oh, well, you know, I'm not gonna dive deeper into that. Just know that rip the homie Flat if you've seen episode 13. It do be like that. I want to see how they would animate Lostbelt 3. I want to see how they would animate all of them, to be honest. I want to see how they would animate like Arjuna Alters NP. Like how it's portrayed in Lostbelt 4 of like restarting the world and then you get like that clock graphic. Like how would that look like in an animated medium? I think that would look cool. You just gotta hope they don't do a redo of the Camelot movie one. I don't know what happened there. You know what? The Camelot movies were the only like Fate media that I've never rewatched. Granted, I never finished Last Encore, so I guess that too. But I've never rewatched, like I've rewatched Babylonia several times already. I've already rewatched each episode of Strange Fake like 4 times at this point. Zero a couple times. Unlimited Blade Works at least twice. Heaven's Feel at least twice each movie. I don't think I've rewatched the Camelot movies. I guess it do be like that. Arjuna Spook, no. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Ooh, that's a dagger. I'm so sorry to hear that. I love the adaptation of Babylon. Yeah, same. How does Rent a Girlfriend have 5 seasons but I can't get a Lost but 1 adaptation? Well, it's like it's a comedy slice of life romance. So I mean, at least I think it is. I never watched it. I'm just making a guess with the title and like the premise of the show. Versus like Fate, which is like very lore heavy. There's a lot of action. You know, it's a lot easier to animate stuff that doesn't have like crazy fight scenes or anything like that. So that's what I would chalk it up to. Plus, I mean, a series about like a harem, for example, is gonna probably has the proper funds and stuff. I mean, Fate is kind of like a harem too. I mean, to an extent. Nido Alter Spook, but I'm okay. But Arjuna, come on, yeah, no, that's a dagger. See, at least Nido is a waifu, but you know, Arjuna, you know, yeah, I don't know about all that. Honestly, it's my personal thing, but Camelot movies and Babylonian anime conveyed the emotions much better than the game counterpart. I can't speak for the Camelot movies because again, I haven't given it a proper rewatch, but for Babylonia, I will have to agree. I think, so we were talking about changes in anime and like how generally speaking, at least for me, I don't like it when they change stuff up. But I think if it enhances the story, like for example with Strange Fake, oh, they changed the Gil scene where instead of oro farming, he fell down and flopped like a fish. I liked it. I think it added to the story and how devastating the scene was. I personally liked it. I know most people don't, but it is what it is. I think what Babylonia did really well, despite some cut content here and there, is they added some scenes that gave more character to certain servants or certain, I guess, characters. For example, Tiamat. Tiamat had no talking line in the game, in the Grand Order version of Babylonia. You just slay her out and it's over. In the Babylonian anime, you get like a minute scene of her talking with Fujimaru. That does not happen in the game. And I think that just adds a lot more to her character. And adds a lot more emotion, as you said. Conveys the emotion a lot better. Plus, in the game, when Gil shows up at the end to fight Tiamat, he just shows up and then you go into battle, and then after that, you don't really see exactly how we slayed out Tiamat. But in the anime, like, it goes in deeper of what exactly happened. Like Gil using a Numa Elish and just like destroying our ears and whatnot. Like that doesn't happen in the game. What program do you use to play Fate on PC? I'm playing. I'm trying my best not to unplug it. I'm literally playing Fate on my phone. So if you download this app called Screen Copy, I don't know if it works on iPhone, but you could literally play. You could screen capture your device for free, pretty much. I mean, it is a kind of like a, I don't want to say ghetto, but it does feel kind of like a ghetto app. Just the way it's laid out. But once you plug it in your phone and have it working, it's pretty smooth, as you could see. Pretty smooth. So, yeah, Screen Copy is indeed goated. I wish it had like a dedicated app. Instead of it being like a folder full of random shit and you gotta double click something and sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time it works, but sometimes it just doesn't. But yeah. We seriously need more FGO anime adaptations. I agree, yeah. I think inevitably, I think Lostbelt 7 for sure is gonna get an anime. I just don't know when and by who. Just because of how popular it is. I mean, think about it. The only reason, well, I mean, the main reason Babylonia even got an anime to begin with is because they did a vote on what their favorite, what the FGO community's favorite singularity was, and Babylonia won by a long shot with Camelot second. So it was literally a popularity contest. And when you think about it right now, what is the most popular chapter in the Lostbelt? Lostbelt 6. Like, it's not even a contest. I feel like close second, maybe Lostbelt 5, but even then, the marketability and the profits that they got from Lostbelt 6 and that they're continuing to get from Lostbelt 6 just overshadows Lostbelt 5, despite Lostbelt 5 from a story standpoint being, I wouldn't say comparable, but like a close second to Lostbelt 6 in my opinion. I love Lostbelt 5, but Lostbelt 6 is clearly the superior of the two in the wider audience. So I could see them doing a Lostbelt 6 anime. At least. I would love to animate everything, but that's a lot to ask for. You got to think about it. That's way too much content. Yeah, that's right. MC say Lostbelt 5 is better. I like it better, but I'm not saying it. From a story standpoint, Lostbelt 6 might be the better of the two. I just like Lostbelt 5 better. I just prefer it better. It has a greater sense of gravitas to it. It feels a lot more climactic. And it ties in better into the overarching Lostbelt stories, or the Lostbelt arc as a whole. Whereas Lostbelt 6, what makes it great is that it's standalone. It's exactly the opposite of Lostbelt 5 in the sense that it could stand on its own 2 feet without relying on the other Lostbelts. Whereas Lostbelt 5, everything from Lostbelt 1 all the way to Lostbelt 4 builds up to Lostbelt 5. Whereas Lostbelt 6, it's standalone, which some people might like more than others, but I personally prefer the climactic feel that Lostbelt 5 has because it's built up from Lostbelt 1 all the way to Lostbelt 4. Like, ever since the beginning, it was like, oh, Wodaim is this very talented mage. Oh my god, he has the Greek gods to support him. It's the Greek Lostbelt. It's over. It's the most technologically advanced. It's has a dedicated army. It took both 2 separate chapters, Atlantis and Olympus, to even clear the damn thing. So it felt much more grand, I guess. That's the best word. Whereas Lostbelt 6, I think it would work better as an anime just because it could stand alone for the most part. Like, it makes references and it is obviously connected to the other Lostbelts, but if we just look at its, you know, general story, it could stand alone easily. Yeah, some people prefer Atlantis over Olympus. I like to include them both as one, but separately, a lot of people prefer Atlantis over Olympus just because the characters there are hard carry. Like the servants, you get to know more about Jason. You see his redemption arc. You know, Super Orion and his story throughout is pretty endearing as well. Obviously, Man Ricardo is probably like the main one, along with Jason, that people think about when they think about like the side characters or the supporting characters in Atlantis. Like, they did a great job of developing the servants there. Generic first 90 quartz. I got her to NP3. Wow! Yo, Archerblades, you're killing it. You're killing it. Underrated pick. My favorite is Lostbelt 7. I love unfeeling monsters like Ort and the semi-cosmic horror. No, I agree. I love Lostbelt 7. I think if I were to give it a rank, I've already done a ranking, I think. I have like a Lostbelt tier list. But I think I have Lostbelt 7 like in the middle or something. I would say it's maybe my 3rd, maybe 4th favorite Lostbelt. Under Lostbelt 5 as a whole. Lostbelt 6. I do like that Lostbelt 7. For example, the dinos, I love them. So wholesome. But in addition to them, obviously Ort just being this menace. Camazotz is amazing as well. So type your favorite Lostbelt in the comments right now. It's gonna be mostly Lostbelt 6, Lostbelt 6, Lostbelt 6, 1 Lostbelt 5, 1 Lostbelt 7. Lost Belt 6. This is gonna be sixes. But you know, it is what it is. I also want Lost Belt 6 anime. Definitely one of the reasons is to see Melusine animated. No, yeah, no. I agree. I mean, Melusine, Morgan. Like, you gotta think about it. Like, pretty much all the servants that came out from Lost Belt 6 are fan favorites. Everybody and their mother loves Morgan. Everybody and their mother loves Babanshi, Melusine, Bargus, obviously Oberon being one of the most profitable servants ever, despite being a male servant, which is crazy in a community in a gacha where, you know, female characters are like the big money makers. It's crazy that Oberon is comparable and exceeds a lot of the female cast. Like, literally every servant to come out of Lost Belt 6, with the exception of maybe Percival. I think maybe he's like the only one that nobody really cares about, but like the core Lost Belt 6 characters are insanely successful and insanely popular. And I don't think you could say the same thing with every other Lost Belt. Like, think about it. Lost Belt 1, you got Ivan the Terrible and Salieri and Anastasia. I'm trying to think. There's I think another servant. Okay, Salieri, Anastasia, Ivan the Terrible. I feel like I'm missing like a 4-star or something, but the fact that I can't even remember says a lot. Who else debuted in Lost Belt 4? Or Lost Belt 1? I don't know, I said 4. I think this is them. This is them. And like, no offense to Anastasia fans out there, I love Anastasia. As a whole, the Lost Belt 1 servants don't hold a candle in terms of popularity when compared to Lost Belt 6. And then you go on to Lost Belt 2, you know, Scotty's gonna be popular no matter what. But, you know, the Valkyries, like, oh, they're okay in terms of popularity, but they're not, like, revered. Sigurd, same thing, like, he's somewhat popular, but not like, you know, to the, like, not on some Oberon levels of popularity. Atalanta Alter, that's true. Was Atalanta Alter's first appearance in Lost Belt 1? Obviously, there's other characters like Beowulf and Billy the Kid, but I'm talking about characters that made their debut within that Lost Belt. Yeah, I actually don't remember if that's where. Okay, I guess, yeah, Atalanta Alter. See, the fact I didn't even remember, bro, this tells you enough. Like, see, she's not nearly as popular as any of the other characters I already mentioned. Then you go on to Lost Belt 3. I mean, Lost Belt 3. I mean, what, Li Xuan? I mean, the Emperor Qin Shi Huang is cool, but he kind of hard. I said this in my tier list video when I talk about Lost Belt 3. Oh yeah, Yu Mei Rin, of course. Zhang Yu. But I feel like Qin Shi Huang hard carries that Lost Belt. Like, if you like Yu Mei Rin, then great, you're into NTR and stuff. But like, she's popular, but like not like that. And in terms of the story, like, for me, her story wasn't that compelling. Qin Shi Huang is the one that made Lost Belt 3 like tolerable. Okay, and before, just one more. All right, good luck, man. I'm rooting for you, big dog. Let me know how many quartz at the end did you use. And then there's Lost Belt 4, which does a great job, for example, in like making Karna an even bigger badass than he already was. But you know, he was already popular at that point. It didn't really do much for him in the grand scheme of things. And Arjuna Alter, you know, fairly popular, especially for people who like Unga Bunga Buster Damaged. And yeah, from a gameplay standpoint, he was a pretty big game changer. Otherwise, what, Janako? Yeah, you know, Lakshmi Bai. See, as we're going through the Lost Belts, literally Lost Belt 6 is the only one where like pretty much all the servants are popular, all the servants are successful, all of the servants are profitable. So I think it's in their best interest, Aniplex's best interest, if they animate Lost Belt 6 at some point. Also, 3 is the only Lost Belt who cares to represent humans, other just straight power and kaboom. Yeah, I could see what you mean. Lostbelt 4 map is fire. I like Lostbelt 3 maps personally. Like that shit is hot fire. I love Lostbelt 3's map theme. What a pen skill to prioritize level up? For who? I mean, usually it's a second append for most servants. So I'd say second append regardless. I like the way redrop draws Humarian. I mean, redrop just enhances anything they touch, anything that they make hard for. So I agree by default with your opinion. Yo, Aoko? Yeah, probably second append for sure. Once you get all the appends unlocked, once we get the 5 appends, definitely invest in her crit because her crits are insane. I remember a story about how Aoyuki was recommended by her friends to play FGO because all of her friends like Arjuna, but she ended up liking Karna more. I don't know how accurate that story is because she voiced Jinako all the way back in Extra CCC, so she's already been a fan of Fate. I think you're half right in the sense that she ended up liking Karna more, but that's probably because she literally voices the master of Karna, so she already had that bias. But I don't know, I feel like she been played Grand Order right when it came out, because I mean Karna came out not since the beginning, but pretty much since the beginning. Nice. Archer Blades NP5, you deserve it, dog. Now the question is, how much quartz did it take? And that way I could prepare myself for a couple days when I need to roll for this girl right here, Alice Kawanji. I cannot wait. From 1,366 quartz to 330. Okay, so pretty much a little bit over 1,000 quartz. Not bad. Not bad, all things considered. You know, some people it takes until pity to get one copy. So the fact that it took only a little bit over pity, a little like 120 over pity to get to NP5, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good. So applause to you, my friend. Applause to you. And I hope that Alice shows me the same level of you know, of grace. And especially with the way she treated me in JP. I got her NP5 in like 400 quartz. So I'm hoping that she still has that in her. I'm gonna grand you, Alice. I'm gonna grand you. So, you know, I'm just saying. Yeah, 1K for NP5, that's really good. Especially if you're somebody like me who hit pity to get freaking Jack Del Malay Saber a couple weeks ago. What's up, Generic? Congrats, by the way. I think you ended up getting Jack Del Malay, which explains the profile pic. Next, NP5 Spacer Risk. Yo, yeah, dude. So, I mean, you have 330 quartz right now. But if you start saving now, which I assume you will, and then you go to anniversary, you get the anniversary quartz, you should have probably around the same you had going into Aoko. You should have like around 1,000 quartz, like that ass. If you start saving now, you log in every day, you know, you bond, you farm bond, you know, you do the right things. I mean, you already know at this point, you've saved a lot for Aoko. So like, if you just do the same thing, then you'll be good. You'll try for Alice a little. Ooh, you want to risk that, man? You want to risk that? I mean, I respect it, big dog. I respect it. Maybe we'll roll together in a couple days, because again, Alice is gonna be dropping this Friday, around the same time as right now, probably like an hour before. I'm streaming for like almost 2 hours. But yeah, wasn't Spartacus and maybe Mordred also the one who carried Lostbelt 3? Yeah, see, Spartacus had his big moment. Mordred? Not really. I feel like the 3-star assassin had a bigger impact, especially against Qin Shi Huang. I don't remember Mordred really doing much. Yeah, I don't know. I think Mordred just being Mordred just automatically makes her, like, you know, compelling, but like, objectively speaking, Spartacus, I feel like, had a bigger impact than she did. Which, I mean, the Lostbelts in general, all of them, not just Lostbelt 3, they do a good job of adding more character to lower rarity servants. Like Lostbelt 5 is like the perfect example with Jason, right? Just reinvigorated his character and gave him this whole redemption arc. Yeah, Jin K is amazing. Oh shit, it was Jin K, man. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like Mordred. I was like, I don't remember her doing shit. Yeah, but Jin K was like, she had aura, bro. She went to face Qin Shi Huang by herself, and you know, she did what she needed to do in order to at least get him out of his shell. Still waiting for either Summer Medusa or straight up Shiro Servant. That's what I would literally make me save up for 2 years. Oh yeah, for sure. Anyone knows Aoko's favorite food? I want to try ordering it tonight. I almost said udon, but that's Musashi's favorite food. I don't know. You read the visual novel too. I feel, don't they get like takeout Chinese all the time or something? I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wind down the stream now. I've already yapped enough. So if you guys have any last minute words or whatever, if you rolled for Aoko, congratulations. Type 1 if you rolled and got, or type 2 if you rolled and didn't, and type 3 if you were just big chillin' and you didn't roll at all. But congratulations to everybody who got Aoko regardless. Hopefully it didn't take too much. I did see a couple people hit pity. I did see a couple people did fail, unfortunately. So I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope, you know, she's going to be around for about 3 weeks. So hopefully you're going to get her by a random ticket, a random court or whatever. It's not the end of the world. Plus, there's always guaranteed SR, but I am sorry that you didn't end up getting them, or getting her. But I will be streaming again this coming Friday. It's already scheduled. And remember, if you hit the like button, especially if you like pre-like the stream, then you're gonna get good rolls in your next gacha. So I'm gonna be rolling for Alice this coming Friday, April 3rd. And I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna say explicitly what I did. But as you guys might know, especially if you've been around for a while, I always do something stupid for April Fools. And I hate to slightly spoil it because it probably would have been funnier if like you just didn't realize it was April Fools. But I have a pretty stupid video coming out on this coming April. And the April 1st, I should say, for April Fools. So if you guys see a particular thumbnail and a particular title and you're like, wait, he does that now, and just know it's April Fools. But you'll see. Let's just say that earlier in the stream we talked about it, and you guys obviously didn't realize. So I'll see you guys there. I can't wait to read some of the comments there. I hope a lot of people look at it just to be like, wait, this motherfucker is doing that now. But like, no, it's all a joke. But thank you guys for hanging out. So I hope to see a lot of you guys back this coming Friday, April 3rd. And yeah, I'll be rolling for Alice, and maybe gonna be rolling for Aoko as well. It's not an OnlyFans. 802 quartz. Yeah, 802 quartz plus just to show you guys a small preview. 802 quartz plus yeah, pretty much a year's worth of quartz saved up. I might as well claim these right now since they're expiring in a day. So 812 quartz, forgive me. Plus pretty much every quartz for a year straight. Every quartz and ticket. I just, you know, out of sight, out of mind. That's how I save. I also have, of course, the Saint Quartz fragments. As well. If I could, you know, scroll. 179 over here, so it's probably gonna be like 180, 181. I also have, not you. I have her. She's about to give me 30 quartz. Korean Sky is about to give me 30 quartz. I believe Scotty's about to give me 30 quartz. Are you about to give me? No, you're not about to give me 30. I thought you were. Hans, I think you're about to give me. Yeah, you're about to give me 30 quartz. So that's 90 quartz. Now that's 120 quartz. Now that's 150 quartz. Now that's 180 quartz. Now she's getting there. 210 quartz. 240 quartz. 270 quartz. 300 quartz. Okay, not you. 330 quartz. 360 quartz. Yeah, so yeah, 390. 420, blaze it. 450. 480? Is that my math? Is my math right there? Like 480 quartz. So 480 quartz plus a year's worth of quartz, plus the quartz I already have, plus the same quartz fragments. I said quartz a million times, so it'd be like that. I should have around maybe almost 2,000 quartz. Maybe. But we'll see. So out of sight, out of mind. That way I don't feel tempted to roll as hard That's how I save, guys. That's how I save. That's how it be. That's how you cheat the system, or quote-unquote cheat the system. So I'll see you guys then, and by then I should have around 2,000 quartz or something like that. We'll see. Angora going above 10. Yeah, man. Going above 10. I granted I have almost 4,000 quartz in JP, so it's like not like, okay, what is 2k quartz, to be honest, but you know, it'll be like that. Yeah, bond farming. Yeah. See, you get one multi-shot for bond farming. That's more than what the Mihoyo games does, apparently. I'll see you guys this coming Friday. Thank you guys for hanging out again. Bye-bye. Wish me luck. Hit that like button on the stream that's scheduled, and hit the like button on the way out as well. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Yeet.